I said get out, now, before I have you arrested for trespassing. That's what Marcus Webb, the youngest vice president in the company's history, said to a 73-year-old man who had just walked through the front door. The old man had barely taken 2 steps into the lobby when Marcus cut him off. Sir, this is a private building. We don't do walk-ins, we don't do charity cases, and we definitely don't do whatever this is. He looked the old man up and down, the wrinkled gray suit, the scuffed shoes, the reading glasses held together with tape on one side. Marcus turned to the receptionist and said, loud enough for the entire lobby to hear, Rachel, call security. This man clearly doesn't know where he is. The old man's name was Edmund Calloway. He was 73 years old. He had lived in the same small house for 40 years, but Marcus didn't care about any of that. He stepped closer, close enough for Edmund to smell the cologne, and jabbed a finger toward the door. Sir, I've asked you to leave. This building operates on appointments and credentials. You don't seem to have either. 2 women at the front desk stopped typing. A junior analyst froze with his coffee halfway to his mouth. The entire lobby was watching now, and Marcus wanted them to. Edmund didn't react. He simply looked around the lobby slowly, almost like he was remembering something. Then he asked quietly, young man, would you mind telling me which floor the executive offices are on? Marcus didn't just laugh. He threw his head back and barked it, loud, ugly, like he wanted the sound to bounce off every wall in that lobby. The executive floor? You? Sir, you can't even get past this lobby. The executive floor is for people who actually work here. People with titles. People who matter. He turned to the junior analysts and said, this is exactly why access control matters. Anyone thinks they can just walk in. A few people laughed nervously. One woman looked at the floor. Marcus straightened his tie and stepped so close to Edmund, their shoes nearly touched. Now I'm going to ask you one more time, politely, to leave before this gets embarrassing. For you. Edmund looked down at his scuffed shoes, then back up at Marcus, and very quietly he said, I think I'll stay, if that's all right. Marcus's jaw tightened. I've asked you to leave. He took Edmund lightly by the sleeve, firm, not violent. Let's not make this worse than it needs to be. Edmund stumbled, just half a step, but it was enough for the entire lobby to gasp. A woman near the elevator covered her mouth. The receptionist stood up from her chair. He looked toward security. Frank, escort him out. His voice echoed off the marble floors. Nobody moved. Nobody breathed. Frank, a man who had worked in that building for over 20 years, walked toward Edmund. But when he got close enough to see the old man's face, he stopped dead. His eyes went wide. His hand, which had been reaching for Edmund's arm, dropped to his side. Frank took one step back and said very quietly, Mr. Calloway, I'm so sorry, sir. I didn't realize it was you. Marcus threw his hands up. Frank, I didn't ask you to apologize. I asked you to remove him. What is wrong with everyone today? Frank didn't move. He didn't even look at Marcus. He just stood there, pale as a ghost, staring at the old man in the wrinkled gray suit. Marcus stormed toward them. If security won't handle this, I will. Frank stepped between them. His voice shook, but his words didn't. I'm not letting you touch him, sir. And if you're smart, you'll get on your knees and start praying. Before Marcus could open his mouth, the elevator doors opened behind him. Out stepped Catherine Mercer, the firm's CEO, the most powerful person in the building, the woman whose signature could end careers with a single stroke. She walked straight past Marcus without a glance, crossed the lobby and stopped in front of Edmund Calloway. She didn't shake his hand. She hugged him. Then she turned to face the lobby and said, for those who seem confused, this is Edmund Calloway. The name on the side of this building, Calloway and Mercer. Calloway comes first. He owns 68% of this company. Every floor you stand on exists because of him, and some of you just tried to throw him out of his own building. The lobby was dead silent. Marcus hadn't moved. His face had gone from red to white. Catherine turned to him. Marcus, you've been vice president for what, 8 months? Marcus nodded, barely. Catherine continued. In those 8 months, I've received 11 complaints about you. From assistants you screamed at, from interns you humiliated in front of their teams, from janitorial staff you threatened to have fired for not cleaning your office fast enough. I kept giving you chances because your numbers were good. She paused. But numbers don't build companies. People do, and you just tried to throw the man who built all of this out of his own front door. Edmund, who had been silent through all of it, finally spoke. He didn't raise his voice. He didn't need to. He looked at Marcus and said, son, I started this company because I believe that how you treat people is more important than how much money you make. I come back to this building every now and then, dressed just like this, because I want to see if that belief still lives here. He paused, then said, today, I got my answer. He turned to Catherine and gave a single nod. Catherine looked at Marcus. Your position has been terminated, effective immediately. Security will escort you to your office to collect your things. You have 15 minutes. Marcus opened his mouth. Edmund raised one hand, the same hand Marcus had tried to push out the door, and said, there's nothing you can say right now that you should have said 10 minutes ago. Go home, son. And when you get there, think about every person you've ever looked down on, because one of them was the man who signed your paychecks. Marcus was escorted out in silence. No one looked at him. No one said goodbye. The elevator doors closed behind him, and he was gone. Just like that. 8 months of power, erased in 8 minutes. Edmund turned to the security guard, Frank, and shook his hand. "Thank you for remembering me, Frank. How's your daughter? Did she finish nursing school?" Frank smiled through tears and said, "She graduated last month, Mr. Calloway." Edmund's eyes lit up. "That's the best news I've heard all year." Then Edmund Calloway buttoned his wrinkled gray suit, same scuffed shoes, same taped glasses. He walked out through the same front door he had entered, and the lobby stayed silent. Because titles fade, power shifts, money moves, but character, the way you treat people when you think they don't matter, that's the part that stays.